Hi all, Hipper here. Today I am taking out Prinz Eugen using a quad rudder build. And as you can see, I have Lucians here, who is my agile commander. And I've changed Fraser, who used to be an inspiration, to Azure Lane Baltimore instead, to get the maximum rudder shift I can possibly have on this tier 7 cruiser here. And as you can see here, it's quite fast now. We're down to 2.5 seconds. Unfortunately, these cruisers are pretty slow, so you won't be hitting 40 knots in these skies, even with a full speed build. So they're still not real agile cruisers, but at least they have the rudder shift to be considered agile now, instead of the 3 seconds they had before Azure Lane Baltimore came out. So, okay, let's jump straight into it here. And for once, we are not on Sleeping Giant, which is fantastic, amazing, I love it. And like I said, we're in Prinz Eugen here. And as you can see, I always switch the sonar for the double reload booster. And I usually go through that booster really quickly, because there's nothing I hate more than ending a battle and not having used my reload boosters. So I use it when I have the opportunity, pretty much. So this is a capture the base battle, so it's more like, I'm not going to say laid back, but it's a little bit more like, well, boring, I guess, than a domination battle, where it tends to be more pushing going on and people don't want to give up caps and stuff. But in here, it's just, yeah, pretty standard. As you can see here, I'm using the fast rudder here to avoid shells here in the beginning here, because I want to shoot right off the bat, and I can only do that with an agile build, because then I can be in open water and it doesn't really matter who shoots at me. I'm having terrible luck hitting people here though, but we'll get there. Now these 3 red guys here are all moving toward the map edge, so that's perfect for me. I'll do the same thing, because that keeps us further away from the guys who spawn at B, who will be able to well, interfere in our battle here. But by moving towards the map edge, then like I said, we get further away from enemy fire from the middle of the map, so that's perfect. So I'm facing a Gascogne, a Wichita, and some kind of destroyer here, and there's not really anything that is particularly frightening here when you're in Prinz Eugen. A Cleveland would be a problem, because it sets fire so easily, and although Eugen is really agile with this build here, it just doesn't have the speed to escape a Cleveland fast enough. Like for Atago or Wichita is no problem at all, but Prinz Eugen struggles a bit when facing Wichita's by itself, of course. So here there's a destroyer hiding around the corner here, so I am just going to surprise him. Like I said, I don't have sonar, so I have to rely on getting as close as possible so I can actually see him within the minimum visible distance, which is about 2 kilometers, I believe. And luckily he's sitting in his smoke, so he doesn't see me approach. And I'll do a little bit of spotting for some torps there as well. So now I'll just give this Wichita a few torps so we can keep it at bay while we finish off this DD here. So we should be able to spot him anytime now. And he shoots, and that was a mistake. So now he's fully visible. So up close like this, facing 8 Prinz Eugen guns, well, you are done for in a destroyer. And this guy is as well. So that's away with him. And like I said before, the Gascogne is not really much of a threat, so I don't really care showing a broadside to it. And it looks like someone else took out the Wichita while I was occupied, so that's perfect. So the guy shoots, and we just use our rudder to mitigate the damage almost completely. Actually, completely, we still haven't taken a single hit point of damage. So I will shoot off some torps here, and then I was going to go for that Gascoigne there, but a destroyer just popped up on my map, so I'm going to go for him instead. Of course, he's a much more important target, a real high value target, so I need to take care of him first, especially when he's pretty much just sitting here and letting me kill him. And now I am turning to the right of this sinking ship here, and that is to use it as a form of a torpedo shield in case this guy has torpedoes left. I don't think he does, but if he had, then I would be able to turn right here and at least avoid a torp or two. But I don't have to, because it looks like the guy has used all his torps. And that's him out of the way. So now we can go back to focus on this Gascoigne here. So right now I was contemplating, do I shoot torps or do I go straight in for the kill? And I decide just to rush this guy, because it's just better to get him out of the way immediately, so this whole flank is taken care of. And then, like I said, this battleship is not really much of a threat to Prinz Eugen, as you can clearly see. So he has nowhere to run, and I'm closing in for the torp finish here. And job should be a good one then. Of course, he knows what I'm up to, but he doesn't avoid that salvo there. But unfortunately, he avoids the second one. But that's okay. We'll just give him a few citadels here to make him enjoy himself. Just use the border here to turn. I know I'm showing broadside, but I'm putting all my faith in these shots here taking him out. And they do. Almost. There we go. So that's this flank. And the team has done a really good job on the other flanks as well. So I can start to head in towards the middle of the map, which will take an eternity in Prinz Eugen, because you can only go 37 knots or whatever it is. Now there's a Cleveland left, and I need to be a little bit careful with him, like I said before, in Prinz Eugen, because it's really easy for those guys to burn these German cruisers down. Had we been in any other cruiser, it wouldn't really matter much, especially Charles Martel. I would have dealt with that guy very, very easily. But here we just need to be a little cautious. So I'm just steaming in towards the middle still, because I want to get into a position where I can fire on more than one enemy before I give up my position. So I'm hoping that battleship down at the red base will get into my area of fire as about the same time as that Cleveland pops out of hiding. So that's the plan right now. And I'm just checking what the battleship left actually is, and it's the Tirpitz, and that is almost the best it can be, because they eat Prinz Eugen AP like it was candy. And all I need is to get that Tirpitz broadside, and I will be absolutely pulling the HP out of that guy. I'm just going to take a shot at this Cleveland here to make sure he keeps going that way and not this way. And that means I'll take some incoming fire, but that's it's more important to get this guy to go the other way than to worry about a little bit of hit points. I mean, I have hardly lost any in this battle here, so I can spare a bit. So here we use the rudder to avoid that salvo completely. See how we made this rather big cruiser fit in between the shells perfectly. And with Tirpitz, that's actually really easy, because the dispersion on the German battleships is pretty bad. So at this distance here, you will have some pretty big holes and gaps between the shells, and it's quite easy to fit in. So here's another one, and we've got that one planned out as well. So we do take a hit, but most of it, yeah, no problem at all. Now I could have gone AP here, but actually, honestly, I forget about it. So here's another salvo incoming, and we'll just do exactly what we did before, which makes it really hard to judge the distance and also the fact that which way will I turn, because I don't decide which way I'll turn until I see the salvo leaving his barrels. And with the fast rudder, you have a lot of time to make up your mind, so it's not really much of an issue. Now this guy here is probably pretty smart, I think, because he managed to fire a salvo at me without giving away the fact that he was aiming at me. If you saw my Ingenious, it did not light up with a 1 between those two salvos. So either he's been watching my videos and he's been trying to to be tricky, or it was just a coincidence. I don't know. But even if that happens, then the fast rudder just totally negates the need for any kind of planning on my part until I see the shells leave his guns. And there's a torp to take him out, unfortunately, so we don't get the honor. But we still had a very good battle here. Not a very challenging battle, I must admit, but we still made more than 3,000 base XP, 140,000 damage, 3 kills, and yeah, all in all, pretty good game. And certainly the improved rudder helps a lot, and I'm not going to change this build back to the one I had before. I really like the fast rudder, although it means giving up a little bit of speed, but in the end I think it's worth it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little quad rudder video here, and I'll see you out there.